Oh boy, it's a Jim Baker clip with his special guest, Frank Amedia, or Amedia. I don't know what the fuck the guy's name is. This is the same guy, if you've listened to us for a couple of months, where he talked about praying hard enough to stop a tsunami from hitting Hawaii. This guy takes all sorts of credit for shit that he didn't do, and the trend continues, because he's going to be talking about the Austin bomber. And if you remember, just a couple weeks ago, that he took himself out with an explosive device. Just keep that in mind as we're listening here. Jim Baker.
The prophetic order of the United States, that's a pretty high order.
I have never heard of that in my life. The prophetic order of the United States, that's a pretty high prophetic. I'm wasting the last hours and days of my 30s watching Jim Baker clips and commenting on YouTube.
It's God's name, not mine.
Tell me just a few more seconds of what does it do? What do you do as a group?
Well, the Lord, as you know, gave us birth at 3:30 in the morning, right after I got off the phone with you. It's your fault again. And
what the fuck are they talking about? Gave birth 3:30 in the morning, Jim Baker's fault? What, did he try to rape somebody else? That's a Jessica Hahn, kind of callback there. He kind of did some illegal stuff and got in trouble for it, went to prison for a while.
And I was getting ready to lay down, and the Lord said, POTUS, call together POTUS. And
the Lord Almighty, God, Yahweh, whatever the fuck you want to call him, El Shaddai, popped in your head and said POTUS, whatever else you said there, POTUS? Really? God has to talk in fucking acronyms with you people.
Of course, I know what POTUS is, the President of the United States. He said he needs protection. He needs a shield. The country needs a prophetic order established over it. And if you will stand up, son, and call the ones I name with you, I will never allow that voice to be quenched again in this country.
What voice to be quenched? Doesn't quenched mean to be like your thirst is slaked? I mean, what are you trying to say here, Frank? I don't follow.
So the first person I called was Herman, and I got him out of bed about 6:30 a.m. his time. I didn't sleep for 48 hours.
And you're talking about this happened the night of the election.
November 9th.
Right.
The very next day.
And
it's a sad day when Lori Baker has to fill in some detail for you because you're too stupid to do it yourself.
And then he gave me the list of the names, and I went right through them, and every one of them said, yes, let's do it. And so we sort of walked into it. It's almost like jumping off a plank. Lord, what are we doing? Here we are. Let's go.
Jumping off a plank? Diving board? Or if you walked the plank, you were essentially going to be killed you were going to die in the ocean. Jesus, you people don't even understand your own fucking metaphors that you're trying to create, trying to say on these things.
And now God has set us up as a shield. One of the most difficult Soros groups, I won't name them because I don't want to glorify them.
Oh, great. More George Soros stuff. Stuff funded by George Soros, the big bad billionaire boogeyman. Never mind the big bad billionaire boogeyman that's in the White House and the ones that keep spending money on the Republican Party. There's a lot of them. You can name the Koch brothers. You can name the guy that, what is it? Manafort took money from. The oligarch from Russia who hired Paul Manafort to do business stuff with him, who's getting sued by the Deripaska guy. There are a lot of rich assholes in this nation. There's not just one supporting the Democratic Party, people. It's not everything I hate is George Soros. That's a kid's book.
Recently, a couple months ago.
Pick one. Please, pick one. One thing to say. If I just said recently 3 years ago, that does not make any fucking sense. Recently, a couple months ago, you don't need to say both. A couple of months ago, this thing happened. Recently, a thing happened. Recently, a couple months ago is like saying, I went yesterday to go to the park yesterday. It's redundant. You don't need to say it. And I know I'm catching small shit here and working with it, but God damn it, these people don't know how to talk. And I'm not the best orator in the world, but it drives me up the fucking wall when these people do this shit.
Indicated that POTUS Shield is the most amazing, inexplicable, prophetic move that they've ever seen in Christianity in all the years they've been covering it, that has an impact on the nation.
You stand around and you think real hard, and sometimes you wave hands and talk on a fucking megaphone. You don't do anything. You take credit for the shit that you had no help in doing.
And so we take that as a compliment. It means we're scaring the bejesus out of the left side,
Right.
which we enjoy.
Why do you have to bring politics into it? You know, you can be a Christian and be left, right? In fact, I would wager that people that are Christian and leftist are actually living a lot more fucking Jesus-filled lives than you guys are.
And but beyond that, really, God has just put us in a place where when we come together, which we do across the nation, we prophesy and the things come true.
You think real hard and you make guesses about stuff that might happen. Gee, I wonder who else does something like that on a weekly basis.
The Lord shows it to us collectively. We speak it out. Just last night here, Herman was led before he started. And he said,
yes,
he
Herman
asked the Lord, and we agreed with him that this bomber
Right.
would be caught
The one in Austin.
quickly. It would
Right.
not kill one more person. And
Cool.
within hours,
Wow.
he was gone.
Amazing.
Amen.
If God is doing it and you've prayed for him to fix it, first of all, how the fuck do you know it wasn't part of his plan? You guys don't get to claim intercessory prayer on everything, especially when you have a God who is omnipotent, omniscient, omni-everything. You can't claim that he's willing to change everything, because if he knew better and could do something, he should do it, and he should already know what he should be doing. But you're talking about in a couple of hours after you guys thought really hard about, boy, I hope that bomber gets caught. The bomber got caught. I think everybody in the fucking nation was hoping that the Austin bomber would be caught. You don't hear me coming out and be going, oh, I knew he was going to be caught and I'm glad he did. Because it was going to happen anyway, you dumbass.
Now,
I fucking hate these people so much. Thinking really hard does not solve your problems, unless they're problems that can be thought out and you can actually have an effect on. The Austin bombing, unless you were a fucking cop or FBI person looking into that investigation, no amount of thinking or hoping really fucking hard was going to do anything to stop that shit. You know what stopped that shit? Good police work, surveillance, people willing to drop dimes on each other, having all of the stuff that could work together, catching a break, finding clues. Police work did it. Batman doesn't pray to God. He just solves the fucking thing himself.